awesome episode of the Badge Bros podcast. We had a really shitty week. Really fucking terrible week, but we're back. Oh my god, I can't do that anymore. Bring in the boys. Bring in the boys. I need support. I need support here.
We tried. A little ASM. Well, I don't even have. What's the acronym? I always just think of
ARSB.
Lob on Russia, bro.
Oh my god, that was so good. That was so good.
That's a tough scene.
Oh man, we just jumped 100,000 subs, I think, with that intro.
Yeah, there you go.
We're a whole new niche.
Yeah, people are coming for foot fetish stuff now.
yeah. Just wait. The bots are gonna. There's gonna be just a bot uproar today in chat. Yeah, it's just gonna be
the sex bots are coming. Oh man, yeah, we're coming off a weekend where I think we talked about a lot of good stuff. We shared a lot of good stuff in the article, and then not a lot of good stuff happened for each of us individually. We had a couple sweats there. Nez was up there in the BR for a bit. I was 10 T. Higgins points away for a little bit there and kind of unblocked and no good. But Zay Jones, man. Zay Jones, just it's a tribute to how sharp the games are, because I saw a tweet yesterday that like Zay Jones had more touchdowns yesterday than he had in his entire Raiders career. And he had 3 in the one day, yet he was popping in optimals, yet he was in cash game projections, yet he was written up as a guy that was in our article written up as a contrarian late stack. And it's like, holy shit, these games are kind of tough. Like people are smart, man. Like we're talking about a dude. Like if you told me in like 2014 that like, yeah, everybody's just going to be on a dude who's going to score as many touchdowns as he did the previous 3 years in one day, you'd be like, yeah, okay, sure, buddy.
How are we going to get there?
How are we going to get there? And yet everyone was kind of on it. And it was like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
These games are tough.
Yeah, that was wild. That was wild. That was, it's just weird. Why every fantasy playoffs back-to-back years does Zay Jones just like come out and just like smash? He knows,
man.
He won me
probably deep in some leagues, year. And he owns himself. He's like, all right, now's when I go. Now we go.
He got paid a lot of money though. I mean, like I've been like Zay Jones and like Josh Jacobs. I kind of put them in the same category for me as like guys that I just root for and like feel like are decent players. So I had some Zay Jones. And I think like in a vacuum when you look at Zay Jones' history and like pop and the optimals and whatnot, everything, like, yeah, it was like, how could we have landed on there? But, I think that just kind of speaks to the emergence of Trevor Lawrence, the facade of the Cowboys pass defense in the secondary, which has, really been bailed out by some really risky play from the corners and an elite pass rush. So I just think that the factors it's nice that we got that one right, because that was something that I feel like could be seen. But yeah, when you factor in all those stats, it is kind of like astounding though. I mean, 3 touchdowns, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, he was definitely the guy you needed. He was definitely the guy you needed from that 5th, 6th round slot there. Admittedly, only was on it because you guys. I was on it in cash because, come on, I built the best cash.
Jesus.
But yeah, I mean, like, hey, even the man from ETR didn't play him in cash. Come on, he was part of the build. No, but I just think. Yeah, I mean, it was a sharp point out by you guys is exactly what you said there, Nez, where it was like we think of Dallas as this ferocious defense, but they're a ferocious pass rush is what they are, right? Like they dominate the line of scrimmage, and when he can get the ball out quick, good things happen. And man, Trevor Lawrence is becoming an absolute dude. I mean, they're potentially backdoor their way into the playoffs. Like, holy
they
shit.
are. They're not far. Titans are 7-7, and they're 6-8. Like it's
right?
It's really not that crazy. And Tannehill, right? Is he like he got hurt pretty good? Did he not?
He came back.
Oh, he did. Okay, yeah. I took the second half off, man. I was
couldn't do it.
It was a lot of football to watch. But man, oddly enough, though, like a lot of like high scoring players this past week. Like it was a hell of a first round. I think I saw Pecan, I believe, Felix on Twitter say the average advancing play on team on this is DraftKings was 190 points in best ball for round one. Like that is monstrous. That is insane.
Well, it kind of adds up though, because it was one of the lower scoring weeks in BR because the premium kind of guys that we were targeting didn't really get home.
Yep.
But all the points were scored on either different slates than the main slate, or all the points were scored by like auxiliary 30 plus ADP players. So very interesting when you bring like context of slate into mattering. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the results stuff. Shout out to Error. Seen the name before, haven't drafted a ton with the player. But there we go. Let me see if I can click that. Zoom her in a little bit. Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it at length during the week. We wrote it in the article that, like, man, what else can we say about Jalen Hurts? Now, did he have some run pure and he punches in 3 on the ground with that indefensible, weird goal line sneak play that they run with a wide receiver and a running back in the backfield, and they just push his ass in.
Just scrum his ass.
Yeah, right. It's unstoppable right now. But the Ramondre play, really nice play. It was something that I got on pretty heavy on Sunday and ended up with 16% Ramondre. I thought it was really sharp. It was really good leverage off of a guy who it probably wasn't the best spot in the world. Like it wasn't the best matchup to go against that Vegas run defense, but like, I don't know, like the trenches matchup wasn't amazing, but like if you're going to give me, I wrote up Dame Harris because I thought there was no chance Ramondre was going to play. And I was like, give me 20 Dame Harris touches in the 6th round and just mix them in at some frequency. And then we get Ramondre and it's like, holy shit. And he gets the pass game work and he's going to come back. Even if he only plays 70% of snaps, I'm going to mix him in. Right. So I thought that was a sharp play. We talked about how Taysom was sharp all week. I thought like, there are some Taysom slates where it's just like, that's dumb. Like you're just throwing shit against the wall and hoping to beat Taysom. This Taysom slate was not that. No, Mark Ingram was really big for his prospective carries and goal line usage. They brought up David Johnson, and David Johnson did exactly what David Johnson does and fumbled on his first or second touch. So just playing more into the thesis. And then we saw it come to fruition where he throws a huge bomb. Unfortunate that was Raheed Shaheed instead of somebody else. But if that's Chris Olave, we're potentially laughing on that play. So I don't know. Very, very, very well constructed lineup. Very interesting. The contrarian one-off run back in Zay Jones that Numi talked up all week. That Numi
it's
wrote
a
up.
Mini with CD.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Contrarian run back off of CD.
Yeah.
And then just going what you've said in the past, Nez, about the Devontae Smith, where Devontae Smith and AJ Brown effectively have the same role. Like you put them on paper. Yeah, and you can't tell the difference between the two, except for the fact that one of them, you get a 4-round discount in ADP sometimes. So, I mean, for my money, beautifully constructed lineup, gave himself a path to win. Anything to add to the lineup, gentlemen?
No, that's just hitting the freaking nuts right there. That's it's pretty solid. But tight end not mattering really. Just like getting a 10-point tight end is always like an interesting week. It kind of feels like anybody could have really gotten there. One thing that I like to do in these is on the app, like grab the scroll bar and go all the way down to see who finished like dead last.
Oh, give it to me.
Pete Lynn finished last with a Mac Jones, Miles Sanders, Devontae Adams, Mike Williams, Nelson Aguilar, and then Dalton Schultz. So like kind of weird, but we had, so this is like one that I actually consider to be like,
that's actually not that crazy because there's 4 picks there that have top ADPs. And then he just got on a mini stack of Mac Jones and Aguilar who in this player's defense were absolutely popping in projection models and optimizers.
Yes,
like
they were.
And I found
so that's good process. It just didn't.
It is.
Like
honestly, it wasn't bad. There's been some way worse ones that like really made me scratch my head, but there's another one here. Friend of the show, 12 fluid ounces.
Oh yeah,
he was way down there. I think he was like bottom 5. And his line, and this is a good lineup, is why I'm bringing this one up. Is Justin Herbert with Mike Williams stack brought back with Chig, the tight end, with Miles Sanders, who just ruined teams, Devontae Adams, and Chris Olave. Like that's a good team.
There's nothing bad about that.
Sounds like a team I've drafted without maybe Chig. Like I just didn't go Chig route, but I drafted all of those guys. I did so many Herbert, Mike Williams minis. Like,
dude, it felt like it couldn't fail. It felt like it couldn't fail.
Everyone. I mean, it just, it did, but it did.
Well, there's the classic.
You know what I mean? But
there's the classic assumption of rational coaching. You go, hey, this team is a pass funnel. This team is one of the worst in the NFL against the pass. This team is one of the best against the run. And Austin Eckler gets hurt on the first or second drive there. And what do? Joshua Kelly, 11 carries in the whatever, like Hayden Winks threw out a tweet where it's like their first 16 plays were like 12-4 splits in favor of the run. And they were without Eckler for half of them. And it's just like, what are we doing here?
Indefensible. Yeah, I really don't know what to say.
Especially when you have a guy who, in recent memory, he's had almost 400 yards passing in each of the last 2 weeks, right? It's just,
we sit here. It's like we know the stats. We've played Madden. It's like you sit here. It's like we can do better than half of these people in the league, and the way that they coach and they go about things. They're like, no. Like like the fact that we're getting actual like analytic people. Like I know that's smart, but like these the coaches can't they understand how to coach like correctly. So we need to get someone just specifically for handling like reviews and analytics and stuff. It's like, it's just absolutely hilarious. And then they get it wrong. And then they still get it wrong. It's just like, oh man.
Shouts to Philly here. Philly saying
Philly ETH.
Yeah. Philly ETH saying 12th in the BR. Let's find that one. Saying nobody's going to fault you for a Connor versus Ramondre 1v1. I mean, this James Conner role is insane.
Yeah, that was a great pick for Connor. Ooh, and he had McKinnon shit.
90-something% of passes. That was a very sharp one. The Mahomes McKinnon stack. Yeah. One of the rare, I had 2 of those builds where it was the Mahomes McKinnon, just because he's one of those guys who is positively correlated with his quarterback as a running back, which is a rare one. It's kind of this, it's like Austin Eckler and Herbert light is kind of like the thesis behind it. And then of course, kind of a nut run out where Pacheco got benched for a bit there, and they love Jerick McKinnon in the red zone right now. So sharp build from Philly ETH there to get on that. And then Connor was popping. Interesting to go double Philly wide receivers, no bring back and or Hurts. That's pretty cool. It's not something that I entertained at all this week, but I could see it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do it, might as well get a quarterback who can match Hurts.
Yeah, and I'll say it isn't the same level, but it's close when you have. I mean, obviously you have Miles Sanders, but you take out Goddard. Quez Watkins isn't that. It's like the Waddle Hill, just how concentrated it is there. It's like we can talk about not bringing that back. This is slowly getting there, where it's like Hurts is gonna get these boys their numbers. And it's kind of like the Walmart off-brand version of it, but I mean, it's getting more viable where you can do this without having there's no bring back, but on the Saturday, the 1-game Saturday, and then mini Royale, I did a lot of Josh Allen with just a double stack. I could get Tyreek for free, and then Waddle would be there free. So you'd be like, you don't need Tua to stack these two because I'll concentrate it. I think it's viable, a little more viable for the Eagles now. At least it's getting there, at least in certain matchups too. But
but one thing I will say is that Dallas Goedert coming back is going to shake up
exactly. I was saying with Goddard not there, it was there, but him coming back is going to obviously shake it up. But previous weeks with no Goddard, that was like the Walmart off-brand version of them. They were both putting up points.
And the crazy thing is now that we've seen this happen a couple times, where the previous week, the thing that smashed the previous week has now carried over and smashed the following week. And it's kind of like, oh man, how the fuck didn't we just mix that in a little more? You know what I mean? We've seen it multiple weeks now where it's like A Hurts single gets home. A Hurts double gets home. Evan Ingram breaks the slate. Ingram breaks the slate again. Like, it's just like we see these in back-to-back weeks and we're like, hey, don't fall into these recency bias traps. But then on also some other level, it's kind of like, well, maybe they're just using them differently. And why the fuck am I not building like this, right? So it's like, it's this double-edged sword of like, hey, don't be results-oriented, but like maybe sometimes. I don't know, right?
These goddamn games, funny. Man, I swear.
Yeah. Oh, man. Some of the guys that I was off this week that I was pretty happy I ended up off of, the Tony Pollard, Miles Sanders, and Isaiah Pacheco. I basically had none of each. I mixed in a little bit, but I was way overweight the field Josh Jacobs, and that turned out poorly for me. And I was way overweight the Chargers side of that game. Yeah. And most of my Ramondre was then tied to either Adams or Jacobs. So it kind of ended up not mattering. So the double-edged sword there. But I don't know. I was pretty, like, as far as like a losing week goes, I think I lost like 30-40%, something like that. But like, as far as a losing week goes, like, I'm pretty happy today. Like, I'm pretty just like, yeah, I'm pretty fine with what we did, like, and what we talked about all week. I don't know.
I'm more upset this was the lowest volume I've played since like week 1. And number one guy I was going to be on once again. I mean, I touted him. I'm all on. I'm like, I'm going Jags. I'm going ETN. I'm doing that. I have so much Zay Jones and I did more volume in the like in the goal line, basically, because I barely did any of these I didn't get enough main slate BRs out there. It's like all of a sudden I look and I have all these Zay Jones. I'm like, oh, that's nice. They're all the goal line. And like my 20 BRs, I had like one that was dead. I'm just like, I'm just sitting myself. I'm sitting myself doing the same strategy where it's like, I'm looking at these guys ceiling versus their ADP and the guys going up there. And there's just a group of, it's like, this was the biggest group I've seen on the screen where it's like, the discrepancy is not that large between the top ceiling and these guys. Right. And I'm like, I need to start working them in. I did so much Saturday and then other things, that I was doing. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, I'm like, I didn't get them in. And you
could kind of feel the projections not being off just without even like looking at the projections. You know what I'm saying? Like just based on the slate, like you could tell I'm like the ADP, like really like is not anything. It was not solid at all. Like I really, and we saw it come to fruition where it was just like best guess. Whereas otherwise, like you can kind of really trust ADP and as it being like a true like tier break. This week, I really didn't feel that. One thing that I did try to do, and I think I will do again, we kind of talked about it where I went overweight Devontae Adams, and obviously it didn't work out. But because he was like not a first round ADP, I was like trying to reach on him more and being one, overweight on him, and two, having like more like unique combinations of my Devontae Adams teams. Obviously, it hurt me in the long run. I broke even thanks to Zay Jones, but yeah, I think I would do it again. I would do it again.
As a general thesis, I very wholeheartedly agree. On a week where it's a pretty flat tier, because I mean, for my money, this whole week, just drafting in general, you could see any one of 7 players go at the 101 this week, and you did. There was a slight bump in people's minds to Kelsey and Hurts, I think, but outside of that, you could see anyone go. And I think a week like that, where we note that it's kind of a flat tier, is the kind of week to get hyper exploitative with that and be like, hey, that 106 is now my 101 and I'm getting over the field. And that's effectively what I did this week as well. But I did it with Josh Jacobs in the second round. And I would take him instead of at 10, I would take him at the 5-6 every time. Or like,
I did. And I wouldn't change a thing.
I did it with Derrick Henry, where my three Travis Kelce teams. One of them was that Mahomes stack that I fell into. Otherwise, I was taking Henry at the 1, 2, 3, 4, and I was so overweight Henry. I thought it was just a great spot. Thought he could blow it away. So I wouldn't change it for anything because
that game was the fucking perfect setup for both that. It's just
I thought it was. I'm telling myself it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But then when you don't do it, Derrick Henry is going to run out there for 3 touchdowns, and then the Chargers are going to be forced to pass, and it's going to be the greatest environment ever for both. And then I just keep going on it, and I'm still fine with it. I'm still fine with the results, or with the process. But yeah, that's what I did with my limited injuries. I was like, you know what? Let's just hope Derrick Henry is the week where he just breaks it. But
Love it.
the run D was a little better than they thought. Although he still up, he just didn't have the big old Derrick Henry breakout game.
Yeah, and they were also playing with Malik Willis at quarterback for almost a quarter there, so that does dampen the expectations of that offense a little bit, I think. Hey, shout out to Chris here saying 4 different pick'ems this week for 5K.
Let's go.
Fest.
Big shout.
Big shouts. That's very impressive.
Little bankroll for the playoffs. Love that.
Yeah.
We got playoff best ball rolling around.
This is a safe space for despising the Chargers right now. You're in the right place, my friend. Chad sending us the results data. As always, big shouts to Chad, Lee, and a bunch of numbers. Can never remember the combination of numbers in the streets here. But weird week just in terms of the optimal lineup. The optimal lineup would have looked something like Jalen Hurts in the first round, AJ Brown in the second round, though that combination was only obtained 6% according to our data.
Hard. It was
really hard to get. I do regret early in the week, it kind of fell a little bit to that back end of the draft board, and I went a different direction thinking that we had ourselves a week that was similar to the two previous where it was an obtainable stack. It was not this week. So having that was pretty rare. And then it kind of gets weird because you would have had to push up a lot of ADPs. You would have taken Ramondre in the third. You would have taken Jaren McKinnon in the fourth. You would have taken Zay Jones in the fifth. And then my boy, Darren Waller in the sixth.
Over Jawan Johnson?
Or Jawan Johnson if you took a player
are you being realistic or
without an ADP. A player without an ADP, you would have taken Jawan Johnson there.
We're all taking Jawan Johnson.
Yeah. Dude, you know what? I mean, the guy's been putting up some numbers. We played him in the showdown slates a bunch, but just seeing him put up some numbers now is wild.
Remind me, I'm sorry, I don't mean to tease. I gotta tell you guys a story about Jawan Johnson after the show. But
Nez has a story.
A preview is that my wife and I believe I was on that trip. We went on an influencer trip with his wife or partner. He was not there. But I think there's a reason why he did so well.
He's on the hashtag team. A more realistic optimal would have been Derrick Henry in the first, AJ Brown in the second, albeit still a tough combo because either Henry had to slide or AJ Brown had to slide the other way. I think I ended up with one or two of them. Then Ramondre in the third or James Conner, and then some kind of back end of Trevor Lawrence plus Zay Jones and Taysom Hill. So
easy game.
How
did we not come to that?
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence mini, no run back off the Chargers game. AJ Brown one off. Just a tough week. But it's one of those weeks that gives you hope, right? Because we were flirting with it.
Yeah, we all were.
We're all around it. And he just didn't pinpoint that one combination. Other than Air found his way there. But
next week should be interesting because we have a ton of Saturday games because of Christmas, and then some Sunday games. So I'm wondering what kind of slates we're going to get.
It's the reverse of this week. So
exactly.
It's a 10 slate main Christmas on the Saturday, Christmas Eve, and then there's a 3-gamer on Christmas.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I know.
Big shouts. Oh, okay, go ahead, Nimi.
No, I was saying I know this is probably common, just the way that the schedule lines up. Maybe it's not. Yeah. Okay. So probably like multiple teams did it, but like the Vikings play on Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and New Year's Day.
Damn.
It's just like,
holy
so I
shit.
guess any other team, it would be any other team on Thanksgiving if they have the same run out. But yeah,
Nimi, are they trying to fuck your team? Are they? This is big
Prime
NFL rigging.
I'm the poster board.
I'm
not gonna go all Boppa.
Should we get Boppa in here to dissect this to see if the NFL is trying to get the Vikings out of the playoffs?
Well, I
Oh
think
my
we're
God.
in. We clinch. We're just it's the
Yeah,
matter of
but,
Luke's
like,
getting
what is
demolished
up
in the first round.
But like, what is
Yeah.
up with like every Vikings game just like having some absurd refereeing officiating issue? Like, I
Well,
can't
okay,
imagine like
I'll
what
say
it's like to
yes.
be you.
I mean, it happens all over. If you watch every game,
does,
so
but,
I
like-
try. I won't. I'm not going to be biased. Like anyone can come out here and say they watch their.
I'm not
team.
going to be biased, but
talking about
we
the
got
refs.
fucked.
We did, but every other team sees it. I'm not going to come out here and say it's only
fair.
us. Every other team does it.
Yeah.
Like if you watch full season all the way, everyone could plot out their penalties. Yeah, we'll find our way. I've the respect for GA after finding out he's just a sad Minnesotan boy like myself. It's just like I get it. I get it.
Love it.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, it's some crazy penalties in that. I mean, it happened all the time. How about the Terry McLaurin last night? Like, dude gives him the thumbs up. He whatever says bizarre. It's okay, even though you can see he's not on the. Anyway, it happens in every game. But
funny,
yeah.
What's funny? I was watching Blender stream before this, and he was talking to McCool. He's like, who does that? Who checks? And like McCool's like, dude, every wideout does that every
every single play. Every play.
He's like, I was an official, not for football, but like, who does? it was amazing. I was like, I respect the hell out of you, but like, not knowing that is like really, that's just like classic fantasy. Like,
yeah, fantasy bro doesn't know that. Yeah.
Doesn't know what happens on every single play.
Yeah. Before I talk out of my ass, it looks like the Lions also have that same holiday schedule, and that looks to be it.
So it's a big NFL versus big NFC North. There, big conspiracy. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, a couple more here. Really happy that we were heavy on the field stuff. Really happy that we were really heavy on the Burrow doubles and Brady doubles. That game just made way too much sense to me. And then Derek Carr finding his way up here, as Derek Carr was basically going undrafted. We see him at 3% in our sample, and we were just throwing out, hey man, stack him with Adams. It didn't end up mattering because Adams and Jacobs didn't get home. And basically what happened with these plays in the later window of these stacks that we tried to obtain, they didn't get home because the offenses weren't nearly as concentrated as we thought they were going to be. So Brady double doesn't get home because it's Gage who finds the end zone twice. The Adams stuff doesn't get home because the Carr touchdowns go to Waller and Mac Hollins. Jacobs doesn't get home, right? So a little unfortunate that those didn't break our way, but obviously within range of outcomes, and it was good to be on those spots. I mean, Justin Fields, what more can you say? The guy's just a flat out dude. Like, nothing on paper is going to tell you that matchup this week was good for him, but it was just like, yeah, he was the best play on the slate, in my opinion. I don't know. It just interesting week. We were flirting with it. Shout out Chad for the data and stuff. But the one thing I wanted to harp on before that was we saw a little bit of overlay in the Battle Royale for the first time in a while. And I think it's shout out to Underdog because they dropped like 5, 6, 7 contests. Like there was so much to draft this week that there was so much less.
Funds ran up, man. Like people's funds ran up quick. Like when you have all of like you're right, you got the Saturday, and then you got the late, then you got the early one that dropped, then you got the late one that was happened, and then you got that new BR that dropped that people were just pumping into because there was so much overlay into that one. It's like it's like at the end of the day, there was like you could see there wasn't that much money to go in there, or people weren't, because like it was only half full.
Well, I'll be interested to see what the liquidity of the platform looks like after this, because basically last week is like, hey, everybody gets their best ball payouts. All this money is going to be back on the platform that previously wasn't on the platform. And now let's hope these people ape into BRs and stuff like that. And that's exactly what everybody did, right? Like we were seeing screen names that I'd never seen before. We were seeing screen names who were big time best ball guys who are now drafting 100, 150 of these. And I think some people learned some hard lessons this week based on that. And I hope it doesn't deter them from playing in the future, but I am very curious to see what the liquidity on the platform looks like this week going forward in filling contests, because in theory, we could do exactly what we did last week, but again, with the main slate one just being the bigger one first, right? So it'll be very interesting. I don't think they'll go as ham as they did last week in terms of that, because I think less people will be drafting on Christmas Eve opposed to just watching their previous drafts on Christmas Eve. So the Christmas contest might be smaller, and Christmas is such a good NBA slate day too.
I was just gonna say the NBA Christmas slate is probably I would assume that their marketing efforts or whatever, they put that out because there's going to be a day break. There's not going to be any NBA on Christmas Eve. So they're going to have that contest. And I'm hoping that's fairly large because that's going to be my focus on Christmas is probably just abandon that 3 game, maybe put some in there and then just do the main slate. What I will also say just a little, oh, sorry, go ahead. Go.
No, I just wanted to tie a bow on it and just say that like, I love what they're doing in terms of just like, hey, we recognize the state of our platform this week, given the influx of capital. Here are the contests, fill them. Like, you know what I mean? Like there was so much there that I like, you know, I had a busy weekend and stuff, or else I would have drafted a lot more stuff. But it was just so much readily available. They were pumping new contests the morning of when watching the World Cup. And it was just like, oh my God, this is so legit. The fact that they're like, their timeliness is like, hey, we're here, we're on it. Okay, yeah, that lobby filled. Boom, another one. Boom, another one. Like, it was great to see.
Maybe get a poll out. This would be interesting. If anyone's watching it on Underdog, we know we have good people there. Chad brings a good thing here. Maybe just poll some people. See what they think here. Like, do we want to combine these 2 slates? Do we want?
I think we'll get a couple hybrids.
I do. It's just like, do we just to see what the masses want? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just something interesting because just our opinions can. We can think that, but then there's the masses, what everyone else thinks. And it's something just to tie a bow on maybe just our articles, I will say, is last 3 weeks since we started our articles, we've had the basically the winning formula in the articles just kind of scattered in there. So if you do read that and kind of
yet none of us drafted it.
No, we did not. But you know, again, that's just to prove it's a tough game out there. But I will say you said out here that Zay Jones was very steamed, very pushed in cash. He was a great play. As much as he was a great play, he still wasn't as owned as he should have been over on Underdog. Yeah, that is strictly again where the edge lies. Is everyone is so, and it brings us into a question that Downs puts on here, where he goes, "Is it time to abandon ADP after round 2 to 3?" I don't know, but people are so tethered to ADP where it's like I saw so many times where someone didn't have a tight end. They go, "Oh, look at that Dalton Schultz." Falling sitting there, he's got to take them. It's like just turn off your tight end button until the last round. Just turn it off. Put your own rankings in for tight end. Do not worry about it. Like it's a totally different mind shift over here from DFS, but you can bring over the principles and just the foundations. If this guy's steamed for a reason, mix him in. It's not. Well, he's not in the top 36 of players, so I can't click him that much. You know what I mean? So
it's easy. It's really easy to get sucked in to just the top 36. Whenever you're drafting whenever you're binge drafting, you at least in my opinion, like it's really easy to just like, like I want to get more of these sick combos, and then like I forget to to scroll down.
If you're
nobody wants the Zay
I would put
ranks screenshot.
Yeah,
nobody wants the Zay Jones screenshot.
That's why
everybody wants.
It's just like you get yours, and I didn't put I did the GM. I got asked what was the final team, and I put it out there. I didn't even show you guys. I'm like, I'm done. These teams do not matter. It's fun to show them, but like literally stop with the screenshots.
Mine influencer, the GM's a bit now. Eh?
No, it's a great bit.
Send a screenshot when it has when it has a win next to it. That's when we'll accept your screenshots. But it's so interesting because it's like it just. Don't get tethered to this ADP. Because I do too. But one thing I'll say is like put in some ranks. Put in some ranks if you're multi-drafting a bunch at a time, because then at least you know like these are guys that are ranked high, and you don't have to go check your rankings or think, or you have anything like, oh, I have 3 seconds left. I have to click the highest guy at ADP. It's like if you're multi-drafting, you're gonna get sucked in unless you're good at going back and doing that. But if you're doing 5 in a row, sometimes it can become chaotic when you have other real life things going on. So yeah, just a little something that's interesting. Put a little ranks in there just if you're doing that. But if you're doing one at a time, draft off ADP and know who you're taking. Kind of.
Well, it brings us back to that.
Plan out your drafts in a way where it's like you can maneuver if things happen, but you can still have a plan. It doesn't have to be strictly in place though. So like a loose plan. So
Paul bringing up an interesting one here. Do you think the main slate will be downsized? I do not think it will be, just because there's less to draft this week and the big slate is in front of the small slate this week. If they do choose to run it that way, I know Chad's suggesting that maybe you put them together because it's Christmas, blah, blah, blah. I don't think the main slate will be downsized. I don't think it's a big enough deterrent. But then again, they have access to the back end data. They know how many people, got beat this week who now no longer have money in their account that had money previously, or vice versa. So they have a better feel on whether they should downsize it or not. But I wouldn't read into the fact that there was a bit of overlay today, yesterday, as hey, we should downsize now. I read into it more as, holy fuck, we had so much to draft. And we dropped the gauntlet, and we dropped this, that, okay, it kind of makes sense that the very last contest of the week overlaid a bit, right?
Exactly.
Tonight, I know we say this tongue-in-cheek sometimes and whatnot, but this is a truly gross slate. We have 7-point favorite Green Bay Packers taking on the Baker Mayfield-led Rams. No Aaron Donald, no David Bakhtiari, no... Is that how you say his last name?
Bakhtiari.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say the K?
Yeah. Well,
yeah. It's -1 for both on each side of their lines there. Romeo Dobbs coming back. And then the other game is, what do we do with the Jags now? I mean, are the Jags legit ballers? And are we afraid of Sauce on the other side versus the Jets? Is that Jets defense as for real as we give it credit? I don't know. Is it Zach Wilson again this week, or is it Mike White? There's so many question marks on this slate. And you bet your ass Zay Jones is going to be flying up draft boards just as a reaction to what he has done recently. So it's a very, very interesting slate. Tongue-in-cheek, gross. Dark Sheep dropping some news in the chat that Sammy Watkins was released.
It's the holiday. It's Christmas week, and and he gets fired.
Could have been released week 1. Is that what you're talking about? 15
weeks
Grinch,
too late. Baby.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was 15 weeks too late type deal.
But I will say, I looked into this too, and the blurb on Mike White is that he's not expected to play in week 16. So,
okay.
And he has a doubtful tag, so you can't get a swap. But this does seem like a week to punt quarterback. I don't think we're gonna see a separator at QB, and if we do, it's probably Aaron Rodgers, and he doesn't go first. It's always Trevor Lawrence first. I've drafted a handful of these. I will say I had fun drafting them.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean,
how could you?
I know, right? But I've been onslaughting a lot in these.
Interesting. Okay.
So I think I'm probably comfortable, and I'm probably done drafting for the day on these, but had a lot of fun doing some onslaughts. Go ahead, dupe me, whatever. I think some Green Bay onslaughts are a lot of fun on this slate. They're the only team. I mean, you're looking at 2 games. One game is a pick 'em. The other one, Green Bay's favored by 7. Both of these totals are under 40 points. I think it kind of makes sense to just go nut over the Packers and then take your one off elsewhere.
It's interesting to watch how far these lines have changed. I brought up this one just to illustrate it there, but team total wise, that LA has dropped by 4.5 points since open, and the Packers have gained 3 points since open. I don't
Lambeau,
really know
dude, the Rams might not
in that.
They might not cross 100 yards. At Lambeau, Baker Mayfield led team, they're gonna get their shit stomped.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good.
Have you guys seen that Baker Mayfield prove it chart? And it's a secular diagram, and it's Baker Mayfield is offended, he's undersized, he's mad, and then he goes out and he balls out, and then he proves it, and then it's gets complacent and becomes an arrogant asshole and whatever. And then it comes back around and he shits on everybody, and then everybody shits on him. And it's this circle of his life, from transferring to Oklahoma to transferring for then the release here, the trade, it's very good.
That's hilarious.
I was just looking at it and I was oh yeah, this sums up. Actually, I had a beer with Baker Mayfield one time. True story.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, Arizona spring training. We were sitting at this little dive bar watching Duke basketball game during March Madness, and he trained with Christian Yelich in the off season, and they're really good buddies.
No wonder he sucks.
So we watched the Brewers and it was right after he won MVP, and I guess Baker won Rookie of the Year. So they were sitting at the bar together, and then me and my two cousins are sitting like one stool down, and we're like, "What the hell?" And there's 8 people in this bar, and then we were like, "Yo, can we buy you guys a beer or whatever?" And then
saw Baker Mayfield on his stool with his feet swinging because he can't touch the ground. Like, hey, sure, like, I'll take a beer.
I actually forgot about that.
Does shortness mean high voice? Like, I'm confused. I'm lost.
Baker sucks, dude. I don't care. He has a high voice.
We exchanged all of 15 words. It wasn't like we sat there and had a time together and got hammered up or whatever. Yeah. But it was kind of cool just to see him and Christian Yelich sitting there just having a beer like guys, like just being dudes.
That is pretty cool.
Carlos has now that Baker has had time to learn the playbook, he's no longer a viable pick.
Yep. That's a very sharp one. I like that.
Yep.
For me, what am I clicking on here? For me right now, I think Aaron Jones stands out as legs above. I think an interesting way to get contrarian on this slate is to pair him and AJ Dillon. Has anyone 100%. Done that? Is that what you did on some of your onslaughts, or were they passing side onslaughts?
Yeah. No, I have ranks. I'm trying to like stick to them, and I have I think like 75 or something AJ Dillon. This week really seemed like it's his game.
Yeah, if you're just box score watching from last week and just checking that, Aaron Jones did get hurt in the middle of that game, and that's why AJ Dillon played 68% of the snaps and worked over him. But like, I don't know, there's something about AJ Dillon, and maybe it's just my broken bro brain that thinks like Derrick Henry. Like we think like, oh yeah, like it's December, it's Lambeau, there's gonna be snow, like he's gonna be hard to tackle, like he's like it's some bullshit like that, like, oh, I can't take down Quadzilla in the snow, and like on some level I think it's like kind of true. I don't know, like
you have your bro science in it.
Yeah, right. Interesting to note in the ceiling projections and stuff like that Aaron Jones is popping more than Aaron Rodgers is. Wow. I guess it kind of makes sense, but just throwing it out there, ETR has the ceiling projection. I mean, not like notably, but like 0.2 points higher or like whatever.
Yeah. Still, I mean, as being a quarterback, like it's pretty notable. I really don't think that as far as like median goes, just like in my dumb head, like I don't see these quarterbacks separating from one another. Like even like Zach Wilson against the Jaguars defense, like I feel like he has the same range of outcomes as all these other guys. I am scared of the Jets defense, by the way.
Zach Wilson's kind of fun. I mean, like he threw like one of the worst passes you'll ever see in your life that should have been intercepted.
Unbelievable, that interception.
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea how it could have been you're saying the one that actually got intercepted. I'm talking about the one that Michael Carter jumped up on and ripped out of the sky. He rolls right and then goes running back throwback to the left side from outside right hash to left sideline to a running back on a wheel route. And then he makes contact with, one of the defenders' arms, helmets, whatever. And he just throws this duck, and Michael Carter makes like, a Moss style over the DB catch that should have been a pick six for sure. Yeah. And then he made the terrible read on the sideline ball interception. But like, there's something about, give me Zach Wilson just playing a little YOLO ball in a trailing game script and just like, why not? If he gets the punch in at the goal line and scores a touchdown there, I mean, we're maybe looking at a 24-25 burger from him this week. Like,
he is a starting score for me on an advancing Best Ball Mania team. Like,
there you go. That's all you need to know.
And he throws footballs like you're throwing a football to your little nephew. Like just like you just like just really loft it in just so that way he can like catch. Dude,
that's what I'm saying. When you said Zach Wilson's kind of fun, that sounds like a quote from his best friend's mom.
Yes, Doobie. Yeah.
Like that
You
sounds
love it.
straight from like, yeah. He's kind of fun. Yeah.
He's
Like,
kinda
you know what I
fun.
mean? Yeah. Like
Yeah.
how many moms are out there saying that? Like at least 5? Like, yeah.
He's handsome.
At least 5. He's baby boy cute. Like like baby faced, like, you know, like he just pinches cheeks, like he never grew up cute.
Yeah, they're like, we'll see you next Tuesday as he leaves.
yeah, exactly.
It's like, can I get a lollipop this time? It leaves.
Oh my goodness.
Look at this. Here we go. Who are these
Yeah,
guys?
so interesting. The Zonovan Knight Q tag is very interesting because we basically saw Michael Carter come into that ball game and then just take over. Sorry, that was one more I wanted to hit on before we jumped in drafts, but we'll talk it out on the fly here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Have to talk something out while he's drafting. Not in his element today.
No, yeah.
It's so
yeah, but
it's oh god, yeah. The Michael Carter stuff.
I mean,
I feel
out snapping him both the last 2 weeks, but Zonovan did get hurt at one interval in that game.
Yeah. I'm just like upset that he isn't getting there. You know, like I really liked him his rookie season, Michael Carter. That is, you know, Breece Hall gets hurt. It's like, okay, the runway is cleared. It's Michael Carter season again, and he just like looks like such a jag, just a guy, like really, like, or a Jaguar. Yeah, I mean, same principle, same point across.
Roofing man, great username. You love it. I love other people's usernames. Is that
Leone?
I wish I could go back in
other
time.
neighbor.
Yeah, Leone's he's got the lawn guy on one side. He's got the roofing guy on the other side. Did you guys see my Leone tweet?
No, I thought
so.
What do you guys like here?
I see all your tweets. You're on Noto, but Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I think
Christian Watson. I think is like my 1-2 here.
Interesting. I'm not sure that I think I might like Christian Kirk more than Garrett
Either
Wilson.
One.
Yeah, the one thing that's interesting about Garrett Wilson is like, yeah, have you had a despise and counter argument between wide receiver and quarterback more obvious than him and like the two Wilsons going at it kind of thing? Like they haven't. Elijah Moore, everybody other than CJ Uzama hates Zach Wilson's ball distribution for whatever reason, right? Like Elijah Moore thinks he should get the ball more. You know, Garrett Wilson thinks he should get the ball more. It's interesting, right?
Denzel Mims thinks he should get the ball more.
Yeah,
if he's healthy still.
Uzama is on that advancing team as well. It was stacked with Wilson and Uzama.
Wow,
and that is,
look at you.
But I'm sweating Randall Cobb. I can't. If Randall Cobb scores 8 points, that team is dust, and so I'm like nervous as shit because Watkins just got released. Oh my god.
Who was
okay?
The guy
so this is gonna
yesterday for the Jets. Oh, sorry, like number 16.
This is gonna stay as a Zach Wilson or Baker Mayfield team. I do think there's some merit in both Van Jefferson and Skoranek. I think we should go running back here though and lean into that AJ Dillon side.
100%.
Just leverage off of Jones and the fact that we know we're not going to get Rodgers on this team. So I
kind of think Evan Ingram it might be a separator at tight end, low key. Like even if it's just by 8 points, like I could see like you having to have Evan, just because I don't love the other tight ends. I don't think Higbee is anything like to be scared of this week. Conklin has Zach Wilson throwing to him, and then after that it's Tunyon for me as far as like who I'm interested in.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Shout out to Josh and Hayden who did a film breakdown and included it in one of their articles this week of the Evan Ingram usage and how it's actually being like scripted like pretty well in recent weeks, and just kind of like the combination of basically, we were off Evan Ingram, or I in particular was off Evan Ingram this week just because of his price tag. And I didn't think he was as big a separator at the position as maybe he could be in a 3-game contest like this. But his usage right now is undeniable. Like he's
100%.
He's the athletic profile that we always thought he was. And now he's getting the ball a lot. It's like, oh yeah, that adds up.
Yeah, now we'll use him. Yeah, now he feels good again.
Yeah.
Was he with them last year or no? Was he with the Giants last year?
No, he was a Giant last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was just incompetent offense in general.
Shit.
Still, I was like, was he with the Urban Meyer incompetence, or was it just the incompetency of the Giants?
Yeah, it was just him, just like
the Joe Judge led Giants, right?
Yeah, and also that guy you were talking about is Jeff Smith for the Jets.
Dude, why did I see him take it? Like he was getting deep shots, like I saw like 3 deep shots to the dude yesterday.
It was weird.
Okay, who do you guys like here? Do we like leaning into the little Cam Akers in that backfield being the one piece you need on the other side? Do we like a
Akers or Skoranek for me?
Akers or Skoranek? Okay, let's take Akers just because it feels nicer. This team's going to be kind of chalky and gross. And then we're going with the Zach Wilson with Garrett Wilson stack there.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Of course.
All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, give me that Wilson to Wilson combo, baby.
Let's go. This is a good team. This is a winning team. This is how you win. Here you go. Draft this.
Roofing Man built a kind of nice one here where he ends up with this Lawrence Zay Jones stack off of Aaron Jones here. And then the Michael Carter pick. I think Michael Carter might be some nice leverage in these contests.
Yeah.
Just because, everyone took 2 running backs, which is different than usual. I don't know. Interesting. Let's run one more of those and let's do some hoops. These drafts are fun, but they're not as fun to talk through as some of the hoop stuff is.
Exactly. Yeah, we can. It's easier for us to fill airtime if we're with hoops.
Thanks,
Luka Doncic available to play. That's big. Luka discount is dead. Rip.
Oh,
what was the Luka discount?
He was going like 4 or 5. Sometimes some teams are getting him in the second. So I saw a couple second round Lukas.
God,
so
that sucks.
Tunyon 3 tutty game. Why not?
Yeah, it was last night. I saw a couple round Lukas because he was cute, but.
Never mind. I was going to use the restroom, but Numi left. I don't want to leave you hanging.
Yeah, Louis. Hey, here we go.
Yo.
Roofing Man, let's go.
Little plug. Hit up Camel City Roofing for all your roofing needs.
Your roofing needs. Yeah, it's been keeping a roof over my head for years.
Trust Camel Roofing for all of you.
Yeah.
That's great. You're
Love
the man.
it, dude.
Yeah, good luck.
What's Camel City? I don't know where Camel City is. That's fun.
Yeah. What is that? Let me look that up.
What up, Roofing Man? Love it.
Is that
the YouTube algo with all these Minnesotans is pushing us in that direction. It must be adjacent.
I think it's North Carolina.
Do you like
what's going on now? Yeah. Camel Roofing City.
Yeah,
Camel City Roof.
I could go for ETN, but I think Wilson against the Jaguars is pretty sick.
You think? Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, let's take ATN and then let's maybe try and make this a 3 wide receiver build team. I want to get freaky here with a Baker Mayfield double, like a Van Jefferson and Ben Skoranek Baker, kind of just like gross like that. Oh, there you go. North Carolina. There you go.
Salem, North Carolina.
Not a sponsor. That's funny. Yeah, Salem, North Carolina. That's racing country. Let's go. We get Garrett Wilson to fall back to us. I think that makes for a nice little mini. But Trevor Lawrence does go with Kirk. I imagine if we don't take... Okay, let's take Garrett Wilson here. But I think if we took Christian Watson or Alan Lazard, I think Baby Stevie is taking Aaron Jones plus one of those pass catchers like almost every time here. I don't know. It feels like, he just takes both of them and then just hopes that we don't take Aaron Rodgers now. I think that's probably pretty sharp by him too. I kind of want to stick to the plan here.
I like it. Yeah.
Balls
in your court here.
Okay, I think if we buy into the narrative that Evan Ingram is a bit of a separator in terms of usage on this slate at the tight end position, I think we take that and be like, hey, the pieces you need from that game are running back, tight end, and then you don't need Lawrence as the separator there because you're not taking like double wide receiver. And now we can go into getting contrarian double wide receiver or wide receiver plus running back plus whatever for Baker or for the Jets. I don't know. What do you think?
No,
we could also
like
there's so many avenues to go here. We could also get really crazy and go double tight end and take Aaron Rodgers.
I'll give you my input. Do something that you think that is good, but you don't really want to do. Just do that. Just do that out.
Yeah.
Just do something that's in your mind. You're like, okay, it crossed my mind, but you're like, I think it's too crazy. Just do it because it's a 2-game slate, and this is gross. So just get gross.
I like it. Let's do it.
How gross should we get?
And then
I think that's some pretty good.
That we just took reasoning afterwards and all that, and try and put it together. But that's how you should be approaching each team. Is just like get weird. Because how many times have you told me at the end of these? Yeah, I had great exposures, but I just didn't get there. It's like have your great exposures and then just have those weird guys that you need to get there. That's literally the ultimate.
I have not to pump my own tires because it's mattered like 0%, but like I've had the quote unquote like perfect nutted exposure, like as in like my highest owned player over 60% owned on these showdown slates in recent memory. I have had
the top
that
5
player top 5 in optimal order for like 7 straight slates now. Like I've killed these showdown slates and I haven't won yet. It's just because I haven't had I've either had like 2 logical combinations where I'm always like forcing a bring back, or I'm not building a full onslaught, or I'm not, like I don't know. I think maybe I have to like refine my mindset from the DFS like 9 gamers and really push it. Okay.
I think you just need to do things that like you need to tell yourself when you're pushing the boundaries of Galaxy Brain, like this can happen, but like, is it really? But like, those are the lineups you need to be teetering on, especially like get your nice ones, of course. But then when you're building that large portfolio that you do, just get those lineups that you don't want to show anyone at all, and you wish you never drafted. You know what I mean? Get those
kind of like this one. I mean, this one makes logical sense, but it's not like sexy to be like, hey, we left Zonovan Knight on the table. We left all these like players that might have better projectable volume and better projections on the table in lieu of taking them. But one thing I will say before we jump into hoops about the Rams, we talked a little bit about it with Wolfert last week, like how we were seeing more condensed in terms of like snaps. That basically they're trying to make Skoranek that Cooper Kupp rule, playing 100% of snaps, and then Van Jefferson 197, and then everybody else was rotational. I do think because they're ugly names to click on and people aren't in love with, hey, let's get Skoranek exposure, I think they're undervaluing them just as players that are on the field at such high frequency. Because I think someone's going to be more inclined to select like Elijah Moore with Wilson as like a stack than people are going to be to just click a one-off Van Jefferson or one-off Ben Skoranek, and I think they'll both be better plays.
Yeah, I mean, it's so gross, man. That like you gotta find your data points that you're gonna like hinge upon and make your decisions.
It's so gross that projections and whatever you think isn't going to be the outcome. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's so gross. It's going to be if Malcolm Brown is active, he's going to fall into the end zone once. It's going to be some defensive touchdowns. We're going to get to Thursday night, and then James Robinson is going to sneak in for the Jets.
He's going to be active all of a sudden because Zonovan's not.
And it's going to be James Robinson. And then for the Jags, it's going to be Marvin Jones 2 touchdowns and JaMychal Hasty. Like these are going to happen. Like it's not for sure, but like these things are likely to a lot more likely to happen than we think when we're just drafting these teams. That's something I think. It's like a lot of these things are viable to happen. Like maybe I'm doing a stretch with James Robinson and going like people getting hurt and upgraded, but like
no, it's within range.
Hasty doing stuff, sure. Hasty getting there in one play.
Jamal Agnew.
Agnew. That's an interesting one. Like it's just
MFer. He's always out here.
You can sit here and be like, come on, Jamal Agnew. But like we're sitting here on Thursday night and Jamal Agnew has a something whatever yard end around for a touchdown. Jamal Agnew then has a kickoff or punt return for a touchdown. It's like,
boy, he almost had one this week. The dump off and then down the sideline. I mean, he gets pushed out at the 8-yard line or whatever. Like,
and they use him. Like they have a few scripted plays in the playbook for Jamal Agnew. So
they love him.
He's there. Here's the comp of the century. He's there. Raheed Shaheed.
I mean, like,
are you guys drunk? That's such a good comp. That's such a good comp. Like the high end speed guy that can.
He's there. Is Raheed Shaheed some just like breaking weapon that is just amazing, helping this? I mean, yeah, he has had some good plays, but I don't know. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's a comp. I don't think that's a comp.
I don't.
You guys are
sure it is.
Jamal Agnew is like just gadget player. Find a gadget player, and that's Jamal Agnew.
He's like.
Yes, Blake. Yes.
Darren Sproles convert. Like,
oh my God, he plays like
put some respect on Darren Sproles' name. Good.
Yeah, God. Okay,
I'm
actually curious.
He's incomparable because he's so good.
Agnew plays 14% at 16, 15, 14% of snaps, and then he just like randomly breaks some stuff. Let's see where's this New Orleans?
He's number 39, like former cornerback. Like
he's like,
oh, look at this. He's up to 71% of snaps. He led all wide receivers last week over Chris Olave.
Oh,
look at this.
Like,
what is going on there?
Shaheed emergence.
What? Did Olave get dinged up in the middle of that game? I don't know. That's gonna be something to look into for next week, or for the main slate. I did not notice that.
You and your comps, man.
Yeah, comp guy. That's what it's about. Actually, Brett Boy with the best comp available. This is like an evergreen statement. I'll just be on the clock and be like, what do you guys think? And then you guys will like lag for like 1 second, and then it'll be like 15 seconds. I'm like, well, what about this instead? And then just like talking to myself, but you guys are staring at the screen still.
Well,
yeah, I mean,
I'll rebuttal with that and say, what do you guys think? And then we'll sit here thinking, and then we'll give you this, and you have 20 seconds left on the clock, and you go, yeah, see, I wasn't going that direction. It's like, okay, we know you weren't like, we were just giving you what we said. And then you go, how about, and then all of a sudden you click 2 people, and next thing you know, it's tap, tap. It's like, yeah, okay. So why do you think we don't say anything?
Okay. All right. I have, where is NBA Vegas? Get some spreads, get some whatever in here. I have not been in the NBA streets yet today. I plan on doing it later. Yeah, Christopher's got the right idea. Just play the guys who score the most points. Easy fucking game.
If you want to hook me up
what
with
are we doing out here
beforehand, I would appreciate that, Chris. Just send me a nice DM of the plays, the optimal. I will draft them over and over. Thank you.
Like I think that's a clear by their current usage. That's a clear drop by the ceiling there. Yeah. All right. Interesting to see. Are the Raptors sitting a bunch of players? Because this is an interesting spread to see. I thought the Raps were better than this. Going to the Sixers.
The I saw we got OG and someone else questionable. I don't know who else we got.
So maybe that's factoring into the spread a bit there.
Yeah, I have to go back and check because I wasn't getting these. So we got OG questionable. And then Gary Trent questionable as well. So that's just kind of like if they are out, that's a bump to Barnes, Siakam, Van Fleet.
OG feels doubtful, right? Like
with the questionable, and I will say so. We do have the Hornets, Lakers, Timberwolves, Magic, Raptors on back-to-back. Again, sorry, I know that was fast.
All right,
Hornets,
slow that down. Yeah,
Lakers,
yep,
Timberwolves, Magic, Raptors.
On back-to-backs. So Raptors on a back-to-back potentially without OG kind of explains that spread a little bit to me. The one that jumps out there for me is Hornets LaMelo Ball on a back-to-back. Is
no idea. I'm expecting a questionable, and that's just going to cause his price to fall a bit. That's what I'm anticipating, and that's how I'm playing it. But I agree with you, and I think a lot of people in the chat are also playing that game of we're waiting for that. Another cog in that in the Hornets is Terry Rozier got hurt last night, and he's doubtful.
Yeah, so that's where I was going with this. That I think Kelly Oubre is a huge play right now.
There you go.
Yeah. Old John Boy's got it covered and whatever. Yeah, do us a favor, hit that like, hit that sub, please. Helps us out, helps the YouTube algorithm out. We're playing that game now. We're playing that chase game.
We're almost halfway to 1K, which puts us into monetization space. So you can start Sending us all those Google raked super chats.
Yeah, exactly.
Google
we're
rake
expecting,
super chats. I love
It's
it.
like 30% rake.
we're expecting that Camel City
Fantastic.
Roofing endorsement check via super chat. That's what we're expecting.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah. How about what about Jalen McDaniels? What do we think there, Numi?
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting with again, it all comes down like to what actually happens with the Hornets. So, you know what I mean? Like, if we get Rozier out, which we're anticipating, and Ball is out, he definitely becomes an option, but right now he's not an option for me. He is nowhere near an option for me. In fact, he would not even be drafted in the 12th
Full
man.
court?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Not at the moment, at least.
Wow.
If I'm going off these rankings, and but again, if I'm going off these rankings and then doing the assumptions myself, so like he said, if I'm assuming Ball is questionable, then sits, Rozier questionable, sits, then that obviously gives a bump that they're not accounting for, and I have to manually bump that. So I could do that. I'm not saying that that's not out of the question, but yeah.
Okay, Numi, let's talk through if you have your sheet done there and stuff. Let's talk.
Do you want me to
through,
send it to you? You can just pop it up on screen.
Maybe send it to me. Maybe I won't put it up, but maybe I'll just talk through a little bit here. Who are some of the biggest discrepancies between current ADP and your projected value? Who are some of the biggest values sticking out to you right now?
So we got Ayton and Gobert. Granted, I do not have I do not have ETRs. They're not out yet, so this is just off stochastic. But yeah,
Okay.
Ayton and Gobert are the 18th and 19th overall in ceiling, and they're 35 and 32 in ADP. They might be a little different now. I got ADP like 2 hours ago. So, granted, they have the Q tag, so we're playing that game. But
yeah, interesting. For whatever reason, Gobert has a projected 0 too.
Yeah, it's because he hasn't played. He hasn't played yet, so we really don't know with Gobert.
Ohtani treatment.
Yeah, so it's like he's a 6th rounder that I'm definitely willing to ape into, especially against the Thunder.
Yeah, just as an overall,
we don't play the Thunder. We play Dallas, which is still a great matchup for him. Sorry.
Overall, just thesis in terms of 9-game slate in this style contest, are you mixing and matching your 6th round exposures, or if Gobert was there, would you go heavy Gobert every time?
Yeah. So if you're doing a limited portfolio, I would kind of mix it up. I would think I would mix it up. If you're doing a large volume and playing a little exploitative, I will just kind of let the ranks take the wheel for 10 or so auto drafts. And then I'll kind of adjust it. I know I do have quite a bit right now, but I will filter that through so I'm not just sitting with a bunch. I think it is interesting though with the Q tag. It's something that you could definitely get exploitative and take them all in the rest, and then you have a bunch of swaps. And it's you're not eating that much value in the 6th round. It's 6th round. So it's a really interesting play. It's kind of, and again, it's just risk tolerance on how you want to treat them.
Chad asking any plans for NFL playoff content? Yeah, we're gonna get the man with the spreadsheet. If you guys are playing the gauntlet and you're not using baseball spreadsheet,
Mitten too.
We'll get that. We'll get out there. Yeah, or Mitten as well. Yeah, the contest. If you're playing either of those, you got to be dialed into that spreadsheet, and he'll come on and talk us through that one a little bit, and then we will go from there. Yeah, we'll do that. Hopefully Thursday is our target right now for Chris.
Some other housekeeping to get out of the way. Lakers are on a back-to-back. No Anthony Davis. LeBron's going to be bumped up. Lakers on a back-to-back. Do we get LeBron? I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. You would assume no Davis. LeBron needs to play for them to have a chance against the Suns. That he does. Do they care? Who knows? Who knows?
Right.
So that's really up in the air. We'll have to wait to get that report. You're going to get LeBron James LeBron James game time decision, and you're really going to get the LeBron James available to play or LeBron James out. And that being the second to last game at 8:10 Central Time is kind of helpful because you will get some swaps in the Charlotte and Sacramento game. That is you can play around with that a bit. So
yeah. And speaking of swaps to that game, Kelly Olynyk is out there.
Yes, Kenny. That's Utah. So Utah's playing first game against Cleveland. So that's, I mean.
Oh, they're in the first game. I thought that was a late game.
Nope, they're in Cleveland. So first,
Okay,
it's an early game.
My bad.
No, you're good.
I just assumed Utah was late.
Yeah, and Nurkic was a probable. Nurkic was probable, and then downgraded to Q for whatever it's worth. So.
Okay.
And then Luka, is available to play, so we'll get him out of the sheet. So yeah, you can see on the sheet, I kind of have it all updated in there too, with injury report, the team back-to-backs, the totals and all the games in there. So it should be just fairly easy to kind of
okay, hold on one sec here. Let me
maneuver that. I also it's really interesting. This slate's pretty fun, and it's like I think Brett said, it's filling super fast.
Yeah, it is.
Like very fast. We're gonna get this thing's gonna fill like 53%. My goodness,
that's wild.
53% already.
Oh no, did he?
Oh no, the camera.
He was
so doing so good. Yeah, man.
I don't know what does it too. It's not like the lighting changed. It's not whatever, and it's only with StreamYard for whatever reason.
Yeah, and Downs LED. I don't know. He's saying that all the spider. Donovan Mitchell back in it's Mitchell is playing he's playing Utah, so he's not back in Utah, so it's a little different. John Boy just goes bye. He's coming back, but
yeah, he is.
But so Spider playing against Utah is interesting.
Yeah.
Not the same narrative going back to Utah, but still very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
We have nothing on the screen here, so we'll just talk through this.
How many have you drafted so far?
About 40.
Okay.
And about most of them are auto drafted.
Really? Just like off of ranks?
Yep, ranks. I see who T-Box is drafting to kind of move some guys around there. Watch out for him. See who he's on. Kind of adjust ranks and that. And then I just draft. I've done some drafts as well too, but it's just it's so much easier to get volume down with ranks, and just I feel like I make dumb decisions when I draft versus if I just rank it out and take the best player available per ranks. Sorry, John Boy. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, we're good.
We had to change the overlay while we talked for a second.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, Murray's interesting. Questionable, hasn't played, and we don't know. Yeah, so you're gonna get this because I don't have ETR, but on the right side here,
blew up again.
On the right side here is where you'll get the just that, and then the people in yellow here are on back-to-backs.
Why can't I see the names on the right-hand side?
On the right-hand side?
Or I mean on the left-hand side. What happens when that happens? Can you see better or worse?
Worse. It's the overlay that's cutting it off.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I might just have to strip it down for this.
Yeah.
There we go.
So this is basically just what I look at. So it's sorted by ceiling, and you can just see this is just one projection source. I'll update it throughout the day. And you just pop that in there. And this is what I look at. This is a nice overview to see how the slate is going to change and everything. Like one person ruled out, someone get just thrusted up into there. Like you can see if you're just drafting off these ranks, you're going to get all the Ayton, all the Gobert, you're going to get them over and over again. You get all the Keldon Johnson. Just look at where their ADP lies. And then, obviously when there's the ETR in there, it'll look a lot more clean, but it's just waiting for numbers to be filled in with. But John Boy's fighting his camera right now.
Yeah. I'm listening though. I'm here. I might just have to condone to the Logitech overlords and give in to the purchase of a new camera and or just use the other one that is directly beside me.
At least you got options.
Literally so easy. Okay, I want to talk two things about this. We know T-Box is really good. We know T-Box is a hyper exploitative player. We know T-Box plays mass volume. We know he drafts primarily in the mornings. just during this window of time and drafts the same players over and over again. And he's probably one of the best NBA players, if not the best NBA player out there. So doing what Chad is doing and noting the fact that, oh, he's taking Sabonis at 5 over and over again is something where it's like, oh, yeah, we should be paying attention to that. One thing I will caution just in general, that was something that I preached heavily when coaching poker was with the prevalency and readily available resources of watching other people play poker, other people play video games, other people play stuff like that, even watching us draft, blindly replicating their process without understanding like the theoretics behind the back end of it will do nothing for you. So don't fall in the trap of, because he's drafting him at 5, we have to draft him at 5 over and over again now. And I'm not, sorry, Chad, I'm just using the comment. I'm not implying that this is what you're implying. I'm just using it as a launch point of something that I wanted to talk about. But I saw it happen very frequently with like poker and stuff. It's like, well, I saw you play Jack 10 suited this way, so now I play, and it's like, no. I don't always play it that way. I play it that way in this one isolated circumstance, blah, blah, blah. Right. So I do just want to talk that like, hey, being hyper aware of what the other players are doing and what they're drafting and who they're targeting on a given day, especially the talented players, very, very important process. Don't blindly replicate. We have to understand the theoretics behind it all. That's all I would suggest.
Do we don't think that he like adjusts his ranks either, right? Like no one's really ever seen that from him.
He does.
Yeah, a little bit here and there, but he does kind of tend to stick to what he's been doing best in the morning and stuff like that. I really hope he takes the, not the bait or anything, but I really hope he does reach out between the mutual contact of Rudman there. And even if he doesn't want to come on the program and expose who he is or anything like that, just maybe talks a little bit in the Discord or shares some thought. I would really like to talk to him, Freezer, and just Brett. So if anybody's got connections to any of those 3 players on the site, I did see just Brett in the Discord one time go typing ... and then no comment came through. And that was the only time I ever saw it. I knew he was lurking. But yeah, I don't know. Just throwing that one out there. Numi, I kind of hijacked that and derailed. Anything you want to see?
No, it's just yeah, again, this is how I'll go about my process is
kiss me every time, kills me every time. That's such a good typo. Feed the freezer, kiss me every time.
Put it on a shirt. Put it on a shirt. No, just seeing if you just use the bottom bar on the right and just scroll just so you can see the people out and then the games.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's just everyone will be highlighted in yellow on the player tab just for back-to-backs, because again, you won't get an injury report for them, so it's just something I'd be wary about if I'm going hyper exploitative on them, that they could get that Q tag. And then I just have the totals right there that just show me obviously where more points are going to be scoring, and then just the games in order. I like to see what the late night hammers are. Shocker. And then, just, the impact rating of people on questionable injuries. So, and then, I just sent you the one with Luka is available to play. So just take that for what it's granted. But yeah.
Okay. Perfect. The two things jump out to me here. We've talked about this in the past a little bit about midday queues and the downgrades and whatever. I think I would be staying kind of heavily away from Ayton and LeBron right now. I do think if you get like that midday queue for LeBron, like we anticipate on a back-to-back, no Anthony Davis, and then you get the star on the other side with the queue, and then they both have the queue, and then they both just sit on a Monday night. That kind of feels like a situation like this to me. I don't know if there's any takeaway merit in there, but just throwing it out there. And the other one is DeJounte Murray. He's been out almost 2 weeks now, almost 3 weeks, something like that. Are we anticipating, is he worth a 4th round pick, a 5th round pick? I've seen him, 3rd, 4th round chatter.
Yeah, he's been going in the 3rd and 4th, and he's been out for he was out. It's only been about a week, maybe like a week and a half. So yeah, it's been a while.
Weeks, yeah.
But
if he sits here, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's a sprained left ankle, so it's an injury. It's an ankle injury, which we know is we don't know quite how they're going to come back. If he does get like the full no minutes, then he's a smash there. But limited minutes, it's interesting, especially against this god awful Magic squad. So again, I've been taking him there. He's been falling to the 5th, but I think it's just easy money. I would not take him above the 4th and 5th though, but I definitely think it's viable taking him like as many times as you want and then getting that swap. The one thing I will caution is if he does play, it's not a guarantee he's going to get the full allotment of minutes. We don't know if he's going to be on the minutes limits. And then whether to believe them or not, what the minutes limit is. I mean, LaMelo Ball was coming back and playing in shorter stints. Dude played 31 minutes and fouled out. Like if he didn't foul out, how many more minutes is he playing on shorter stints?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? So it's like, again, that's why I caution everyone with the NBA injury report is a facade. Coaches lie all the time. We will see
It's
what
an artificial construct.
Yeah, the injury. Yeah, you talk about ADP and the NBA injury report. It's Spider-Man meme of which one is an artificial construct, and they both are taking the cake right now. So
right, I got you.
Yeah, super interesting thing. But yeah, other than that, I just take out that. You can draft off ADP. You can draft off ranked. It's whatever you want. But yeah, it's a super fun slate. I say we just jump in.
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
Hold on, I'm updating my avatar, so it's like I needed an avatar. Oh, it just goes in the middle like that. I thought it would like take up the whole box.
Beef stew, come on. Give it the full
beef stew. Keldon Johnson did not participate in shoot around. He remains questionable. John Collins is expected to play.
Okay.
As you can see, Keldon Johnson is an impact rating of 10 on the sheet, and Collins is an impact rating of 9.
So no Keldon gets a bump to Jones, I would imagine, and becomes a very viable 3rd, 4th round guy.
Vassell, Jones, Jakob's is now I think going to be off his minutes restriction, so that's another interesting play that's down there. And I know T-Box has kind of been over Jakob as well.
We almost got there. Almost got there.
That's hilarious. How quick did you just download that picture, or is that like your background?
No, I just grabbed it.
Yeah, wasn't that great? Like literally, like it's just.
Yeah, Chip cool. Referring to
I like that. Heat,
just like the Heat with the
Vegas. Like who cares about us degenerate gamblers? Like literally, like fuck them. Like fuck us. Like we're like who cares? Like I think that's hilarious. Like do you Spol? Wow, we got full badges here. I think I'm like fully retired from hoops, man. I'm not sure that I'm gonna be drafting hoop. I had one hit on hoops and I felt great, and then I just immediately burnt that cash.
Just succumb to drafting 20 teams straight off the ranks, draft 5. So, okay, I don't really want those. Move them, draft another 5, move them, draft another 5, move them. At the end of the slate, right before it locks, get the most update rankings.
Put guys giving you a full-time job. It's like, yeah, just do this full-time job.
All right.
Continue.
Hey, it's so easy. It's so easy. Just do this.
It's got an auto draft team.
Insert really full-time job.
Ranks auto draft. I've had my best.
I ran out of money.
Should we go Giannis?
Better. I don't know what to say. Yes, Giannis.
Giannis? Yeah.
I hear ASMR does pretty well. You could just strictly go do that.
I need tips. For BR entries, man. I've got nothing.
LED going with Luka at the 101. I can't fault that. I mean, that Sixers game has the lowest total on the slate.
Projection by a long well, not okay. It's Joel and Giannis, so it's not by a long shot, but he has the best ceiling. So
Ashton bringing up the Thomas Bryant season. We saw Thomas Bryant ball out 1 game or 2 games in a row with AD out last week. Just a name to throw out there as a 6th round dart throw. I do not mind. All right. Dame Lillard falls a little bit here. Chad's there to scoop up that value. The sheet is telling me Siakam on the back-to-back is a nice play there. I'm honestly, I'm staying away from these Phoenix Q tags. I don't like it. Do you like Mitchell or Siakam?
Let's do Mitchell.
All right.
A little spider.
Yeah, Phoenix didn't play, so I mean they're just we got an injury report for them, so it's just general. We got the Phoenix injury report. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna give you a comp. I'm gonna give you a comp. It feels exactly like last Monday where Ja and Trey had the Q tags, and then Ja gets ruled out. They were the team who hadn't played since Friday, and it was just like, oh, of course he's gonna play. Like they haven't played since Friday, and then he gets ruled out, and then Trey gets ruled out right after.
Is this nationally televised? I'll let you know right now what's going on.
That's a good one. I like that
NBA.
narrative.
No, it's on NBA TV, not nationally televised.
Who should I pick here?
Let's do Ant.
Yeah, I can't go wrong with Ant.
Okay.
Ant. And that is something that is 100% not even narrative street. Like the Wolves played the Clippers on last Wednesday. They purposely made sure that Kawhi and PG would play Wednesday night and then get the rest. Why? Nationally televised game.
Yeah,
like the NBA is almost fed up with the fact that like they're like it's just like the 5 years span between now. It's like rest. People would come nationally televised game. It would just be all the stars are ruled out. You know what I mean? Rest. So yeah, if it's a nationally televised game, they're going to try everything they can to get those guys out there and then work it around that. So like they'll play on a
Bridges is a fun name.
Yep.
Bridges is a fun name. Chad noting that Nurk got the downgrade Q there. And then Chad noting that the Suns beat reporter 20 minutes ago. Aiden was participating light shoot around, blah, blah, blah. Booker was there, but sitting on the bench. Yeah. Should we take DeJounte and have a little fun?
Sure.
Nobody's paying attention to this draft.
I'm trying to look up.
Man, I'm the fucking worst. I'm just the worst. But for me, it's
I know
KPJ. Like I love some high volume shooters against the Spurs. And McCollum is back.
And then if they get no Keldon Johnson, then all of a sudden you like KPJ even more.
Maybe. Is Keldon Johnson, does he play defense?
Dude, he locks down. Absolute length locks down.
He would be MVP.
Perimeter defender.
He's the man.
In his entire career, he has a negative expected plus minus on defense.
Love it. He locks down, just like I said, Numi. Holy shit. I'm seeing Christian. Man, I fucking hate clicking on Christian Wood's name. I hate it so much, and he pops like every time he pops. Yeah, let's hear it, Numi.
Let's do Lowry revenge game back in Cleveland.
Oh yeah,
and you like it?
These are two guys
like
traded.
As the little run back off of Donovan, eh?
Yeah, like I'll still like obviously there's a run back. Even if we didn't have Donovan there and we did go Siakam, it would probably be Lowry for me there. So granted, it's an added bonus. I wasn't something I do seek out. I really don't.
Says I want to go back to that Sabonis one because Blake took him at 5 here too, and we were talking about how T-Box was picking him up. Damn, Bridges goes. That was my top secret 6th round pick. Top secret. But Blake takes him there in the 5th. I think he's a guy who could get some steam as the day goes on. But that Sabonis, I think Sabonis has 7 straight double-doubles. Did I read that correctly?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he's a machine. Yeah,
something like that.
Oh, this is good to know for Chad. He just says, from Suns beat writer 20 minutes ago, Ayton was participating in a light shoot-around drill.
Oh, my God. Is this guy for real? Are you for real? Have you been participating in the show?
That?
Have you been participating?
I'm looking up stuff and updating rankings, sir, while you're out there just talking, and I'm looking at beef stew.
Oh my God. Sometimes I just forget how much smarter I am, like it's just crazy. Oh, okay. This is interesting.
So if he's there.
Chad going with a Shea Gildress-Alexander out tag buy
What?
right there. I don't mind it.
Really?
Do we take Evan Mobley?
What?
We're going to be
What did I
doubling up
miss?
on teams here. We're taking
Bobby
Aiden.
P.
Shea listed questionable. Son of a.
What a play. What a savant. What a savant.
For
Let's
fuck's
go.
sake.
Just upgraded. Look at these sharps.
Well,
Holy.
John, here's what you do. Auto draft 20 teams and then just move those rankings, and then you can totally account for the midday fucking upgrade of one of the best players.
One of the best players in basketball.
Yeah, dude, that's why hoops is the best. It's the best. I mean, just all you got to do is just,
draft Kevin Porter Jr. 20 drafts. He's the best. He's good against the Spurs. Draft him.
So I can't.
Yumi's tilting right now, and he's man, Chad is him exactly, right? Getting that push notification season. Always have him on, man.
Hey, I'll fucking say
out of my lobbies.
If he wasn't one pick ahead of us, that would have been ours. So,
God, just start aping in, even though we're gonna have a bunch of freaking brigaders in your lobbies who are gonna be scooping them up.
Do you think Feed the Freezer takes him at 5 or 8? Like seriously.
He won't take him. He doesn't update. Are you kidding me? That dude does not account.
The question is, do we take him at 4?
So. Watch me be totally wrong, but this dude.
We take him at 8. We're taking him at 8 because Chip can't take him at 1st. Burrito's not going to get him unless he takes him at 3rd. We're getting him at 8 here, at least this draft. Locked.
Ooh, did you say burrito?
No. Brito. Like Brito.
Yeah, I think it's like Brent. I don't know.
It's Brendo.
Brendo. What?
Yes, we're aware. We're aware. Yes, he's a friend of the show. He's in the Discord.
That's John's bit. He just mispronounces every name. Every name. Of every player, of every friend of the show.
Do you know this Luka Doncic guy?
I did hear burrito as well, I will say. GA.
Yeah, dude. I heard
burrito.
Yeah, he didn't
That's
even
your
see
name now.
He didn't even say burrito. He just said burrito.
Yeah, there you go. All in Nurk gets swapped to SGA now. I hope you got those Q tag swaps here.
If Freezer takes SGA, like I don't care, he's watching. Like I really don't care what anybody else says, he's watching.
I just went above and beyond everybody else's brains, and I took Sabonis at 4.
I mean, that's just what you do. You just gotta go full T-box.
We're flipping the build. Oh my God, SGA at 6. Are you kidding me,
dude? I'm telling you, like it's done.
Chad, what was that team? What was that team? I want to know that team. So I
can't believe Chad did that on stream. That's great.
I can just not draft. Like I know.
Fuzzy, baby, Fuzzy out here.
That was
who the hell are you, Fuzzy?
Man,
show yourself, Fuzzy.
Do you guys like? I mean, we're drawing.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're literally drawing dead. This contest is over.
Literally fade Chad's lineup. He's not even gonna share it because it's like, why would he? But you gotta just fade Chad at this point.
I'm gonna be straight. I'm not playing hoops today anymore. I was gonna play hoops for sure.
There's one draft, I bet.
Chris. That must be Chris at the end there. He must.
Oh, that is. Yeah. Congrats on your 5K last week, man. Jalen Green. Okay, never mind. We're live. You drafted Jalen Green.
All right, that's the lineup we got to beat now. Braun, Dame, Fox, Giroux, Holiday.
Oh, Braun's gonna be ruled out. We're good.
Yeah, and then SGA is just a swap.
Yeah, then he doesn't
go, Chad. You drafted a shitty team.
Then he doesn't even get SGA as a swap. What a fool!
Yeah.
What a fool!
Oh man,
that's just insane. There's gonna be lobbies though where you can get SGA in the second. Still though, is the thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like if there's ever a time to just hop off the stream and just ape into a bunch of drafts, I suggest everybody who's in here right now. You basically have like a 20-minute window.
Yeah.
If that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before that out tag goes away.
Updated it to questionable. It's kind of sus. Like you guys update it on the back end, and we can't get a questionable right now.
It's coming.
6 minutes ago. That's sus. Still, come on. Let's get a questionable on them.
I don't know.
Just go Anthony
Edwards.
Yeah.
I'm the wrong guy to ask, man. I'm bad. I have my favorites.
Even GA's hopping in these streets.
Is he never in hoops?
He's not a hoops guy, no. He's a recreational NFL and a puck guy.
Recreational. That is the most backhanded thing I've ever heard.
He plays a few lineups. He doesn't go hard. That's what I'm trying to say. He's not
I'm recreational too. I just suck.
Yeah.
Booker ruled out.
Booker's out. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Dude,
I'm such a savant.
I'm done.
Honestly, just listen to me. Just listen to me. I'm way smarter than you guys at hoops. I'm the
do you take
guy.
Mikal Bridges at the 102 or 103 now?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Okay, we're taking him now, dude.
Bro, T-Bot's out here getting all right.
Flipping the bill,
everybody's
nerds.
favorite time of the show.
Damn it! I'm in here with. I just entered a lobby just to see what I could get, and I've got fucking Chip in here with me. Damn it! I think so. Like, you can't take him third because I'm third, but you can't. I can't take him over like Luka, Giannis, or Embiid.
No, you gotta just hope he comes back on the other way.
Yeah, Chip. I just gotta hope.
Tonight sounds like a 6Q guy. Yeah, it does. Yes, it does. I shouldn't be too mad. I have a lot of Q guys, so I just gotta hope someone gets ruled out. And then that's SGA swap. Well, hopefully that I can get them in those drafts.
Yeah. So if you guys have drafted already, make sure SGA is at the top of your swap rankings. Obviously,
that's the most insane thing ever. Like, was he?
Illness.
What was his status?
Illness. He was sick.
Illness, dude. But wasn't he sick the other day?
Yep. You know what? I'm sick. I'm sick and tired of these Q tags. That's what I'm sick and tired of.
Welcome to NBA. Welcome to NBA.
What do you guys think about putting CJ with Zion? Not many people are going to click on that, right?
Do it.
I love CJ, man. He's kind of returning to his form. All right, here we go. Chip, go ahead.
Oh, let's go. Luka SGA.
This guy's drafting on his phone, not giving the people the stream they need.
Unreal.
You just told me if you want to hop off right now.
I'm in the next 10 lobbies. Let's go.
God, disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Is this back-to-back Luka SGAs? It's over. It's over. It's Jover, ladies and gentlemen.
That's how I feel. I can't believe I just hopped in this. I just don't like. Congrats, everybody. That's one less rake that needs to be paid because I'm in here. You're welcome.
Yo, do me a favor and make this pick for me.
Yeah. Let's do
Bobby P, man.
Did Kelly Oubre.
All right.
Well, that's a pick. That's a pick, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a pick and a half.
That is a pick.
Watch, SGA is going to be real questionable, and he's like, oh, his tummy's still hurt. He's out.
Yeah. SGA, diarrhea, out.
So this is fun. That's a fun start.
This is just ridiculous, man. This is
SGA now has the Q tag on the app.
He does, yeah.
So he is swap eligible now too, which is extra benefit to grabbing him. So there's some fun. I think that's gonna wrap it up for us.
Yeah, we're off the rails, dude. We've jumped the shark.
Yeah,
fucking
we jumped
hoops.
The shark
this is what
on
happens.
The there.
Yep. God, I mean, look at me. We're talking to beef stew over here.
Talking to beef stew, baby.
Beef stew.
Eve Steve, baby. Eve Steve.
Yeah, I'll set up the other camera tomorrow. All right, everybody, do us a favor. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that follow, that little bell notification, let you know when we're going live. We come out here. We do 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern every day. If you're not playing on Underdog Fantasy, what are you doing with your time? Use promo code BADGE for a $100 match deposit there. We will be doing a little bit of gauntlets plus mitten style content, hopefully on Thursday. That's our goal there.
I believe we have a playoff contest winner on the show, so I don't know. Maybe listen up.
It was not
Does
not
he by
me.
chance have the ring on? Or
No, it's I'm in this damn office, so the ring is upstairs.
How do we know shit if you don't have a ring?
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm a fraud.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. Anything else to add, gentlemen? Likely to start. There's a good one.
There we go. Yeah,
Zach Wilson
Wednesday
likely to start.
We'll have to chat amongst ourselves, but Wednesday either I won't be here or we'll have to do a little programming.
yeah, I will not be here.
All right,
Be in a
John,
car
you
in
and I will
Colorado.
talk.
Yeah, we'll all talk here. Just for the fact that it's Christmas week, everybody's got stuff going up. Numi's going on a trip. Yeah, there's gonna be some schedule amendments for the next like week or two. Maybe not an everyday thing. We'll maybe move it to like 3 days a week or something like that.
Yeah,
and then we will get something. Yeah, we'll keep everybody posted in the Discord. And then we will go for there. Good luck to everybody playing the NBA contest tonight. Good luck to everybody who is playing the Monday Night Football times Thursday Night Football, or if you have some action carrying over from Sunday times Monday. Best of luck to everybody involved. Everybody's favorite time of the show, the top of Numi's head, looking at his phone. The end. Peace.